Hi there, and welcome to Faith in 5, where we believe you can build your faith in just 5 minutes. I'm your host, Reggie Wilson, and I have another exciting episode for you. Today we're going to be in the book of Romans, actually a verse in Romans, Romans 12, starting in verse 2. Again, that's Romans 12, starting in verse 2. And here's how it reads. It says, "Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you'll be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." This is an amazing scripture. It talks about being transformed and not to conform to the patterns of this world. You know, pretty much the pattern of this world, what you see is what you get. First impressions. All these things are patterns of this world. Oh, I met this person. This is how they are. And this is how they'll always be. First impressions. You know, thinking the worst about people. Thinking the worst about situations. And then it says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You know, when I think of that word renew, I think about a revitalization. Think about growth. I think about change. And it says we got to renew our mind. So we constantly got to change the way we think. And as we change the way we think, it says a little later on, we'll be able to test what God's will is for our life. Test and approve what God's will is for our life. And see how it transforms us. You know, with that being said, I want to share about a story that happened to me. I'm pretty much sure every one of us been on a vacation once in our life, or even more so. Some of us go every year. But I want to talk about one particular vacation. I went away with my wife and a group of friends, and I want to talk about how that went down, how it transformed and helped me renew my mind. So we go on this vacation. It took us about 5 hours to get to the island, or even a little more. As we get to the island, we go to get a rental car. As we go and get this rental car, we jump in the car. We found out the check engine light's on. So we stopped right then and we waited a little longer and we were given a new car. So as we was driving in this car, we looked at the neighborhood that we were in and we was making jokes. Look at this. Can you imagine if our hotel was like this? Then we finally pull up to the hotel and we're all in shock. We get to this hotel and let me tell you, it wasn't what we were expecting. We get into the hotel, we get our keys. So we get our keys. The guy that was behind the desk said, "Okay, let me take you to your room." He walked up one step and said, "Here's your room right there." As we open the door to the room, we look inside the room. We have a great view. Listen to this view, guys. It was a view of a wall. So as soon as you get into the room and you looked out the window, it was a wall sitting right there. You should say, at the least, we were not satisfied. We were not encouraged. But as we talked about it, we said, you know, we have to look at it from a different perspective. So we transformed the way we were thinking to think like Christ. So we changed our perspective and we were able to see things differently. We looked outside, we realized we were right on the beach. We had a bar right outside our door. On the beach, we were able to do kayaking for free. As we stayed at the location, we started to meet some great people. We went to one beach. We met this young lady and her family. She invites us by our house to pick mangoes off a tree, and I was able to cut down a coconut and cut it open myself and share it with my wife, the drink, the fluids that came out the coconut. We went to the highest point of the actual island to see the sunset. It was such a beautiful experience. What changed? The renewing of our minds. We changed the way we thought about the situation. You see, if we kept looking at it the same way, we would have got the same result. We would have got angry, upset, but it turned out to be a beautiful vacation. Actually, one of our best. So when we think about renewing our minds, it's not about our circumstances changing. It's about our mindsets changing. You know, I heard a quote one time. It says, "Nothing is either good or bad. It's our thinking that makes it so." So thank you guys for joining me for today's Faith in 5. Let's remember, let's consistently renew and change our minds to make it like Christ. And by the way, if you like what you heard today, please like and subscribe, and see you next time on Faith in 5.